NFL Week 17 Power Rankings. Number 10, I have the Arizona Cardinals down 2 spots. This time they lost to the Colts. It definitely was a close game, but Kyler Murray still does not look good. Their defense couldn't stop the Colts when it mattered most, and this team, their offensive identity is just gone now. Kyler Murray's having a bad stretch of games. They've lost 3 in a row. Colts are definitely a tough team, especially with Jonathan Taylor, and their defense is not terrible, but Arizona, they really needed this game if they wanted to stay atop the NFC West, and it couldn't get done. They just ever since that 7-0 record, they've just went 3-5 since, and they have not looked good. Kyle Murray has not looked good since coming back from his injury, and their defense and offense, they just have been average so far, and that's not good enough for this team to be. It's just not good enough. Number 9, I have New England Patriots down 3 spots. This is a matter of they needed to win the game against the Bills, and they couldn't do it. Mac Jones, he didn't do much. He did not have a great game. New England Patriots defense couldn't stop the Bills from scoring on their final drive that like extended their lead 33-21 instead of 26-21, and they're not a good game. This is a huge game. If they win this game, more than likely they win the division, but they couldn't get it done. And they're down 3 spots. Their defense could not come through, and Mac Jones, he still has had a great rookie season, but he can win them. He could not win them the game. Number 8, I have the Buffalo Bills back on this list. They needed the game against the Patriots. They got it done. Josh Allen looked great. Their defense did good against Mac Jones, and the running and Patriots run D did not get run over this time. And their offense rolled right through the Patriots defense. They scored 33 points on them. It was a game they needed to have. If they would have lost this game, they probably would have been out of the playoffs, possibly. And they really needed this game, and they got it. Number 7, I have the Cincinnati Bengals up 2 spots. They totally blew out the Ravens again, 41-21. Their offense, Joe Burrow threw like 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. All 3 receivers, Chase, Higgins, Boyd, all had big games. And their defense shut down the Ravens' rushing attack for the most part. Then again, Ravens did start John Johnson, but still, it was a great win over a good Baltimore team and a divisional rival. And that just that there was a big game as well, as they're now on top of the AFC North, and their offense, Joe Burrow, oh my God, that was such a good game, and their offense just ran right through the Ravens, and their defense slowed down the Ravens enough, and Cincinnati Bengals, if their offense is firing at all cylinders, Burrow has a good game, and they can also run it with Mixon. They can be a very, very dangerous offense, as long as their offensive line does not hold them back. Number 6, I have the Indianapolis Colts up 1 spot. They had a good win over the Cardinals. It definitely wasn't the prettiest win. Jonathan Taylor had an okay game. He had a big run on his first run, and then for the rest of the game, he was okay. But it was a good defensive win overall. They won more or less with their defense than with their offense. Carson Wentz had an efficient game, and it was just a game against a tough opponent. And even when Jonathan Taylor isn't putting up like great 150-yard games and like 5 yards to carry, they could still win with a good defense and Carson Wentz being super efficient, which showed they can win more in more than one way. Number 5, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They just totally blew out the Panthers. Antonio Brown came back, had a great game. Tom Brady had a great game. The defense had a great game. Only reason they don't go up a spot is because the Panthers are a terrible team, and it was just a blowout. It was a blowout offense, defense firing on all cylinders against a divisional opponent. At number 4, I have the LA Rams down 1 spot. Only reason they're down 1 spot is because Stafford threw 3 picks. At times, Stafford looked like an MVP candidate. At other times, he's throwing 3 picks. Still, the Rams won. Sony Michel had another good game, and their defense did well against the Vikings, especially in the first half. And Minnesota is a hard place to play, especially a team from LA, and they got the win. And Stafford did not have a good game, as I said, but the rest of the team had a great game, and that allowed them to win. Number 3, I have the Dallas Cowboys up 1 spot. They just totally destroyed the football team. Defense, offense, special team all score. their offense finally became in sync, and it just destroyed the football team. And their offense, that was the true potential of their offense. If their offense continues to be like that, like against the Washington football team, and their defense just continues to be shut down, they can be a Super Bowl contender right now. As long as their offense stays consistently good, consistent at a great level, then they can very well be in the Super Bowl. Number two, I have Kansas City Chiefs. Another blowout win against the Steelers. Their defense is really, really good right now. And on their, 8 win right now. The offense finally came alive as well. And Mahomes had a great game, like 3 touchdowns. They scored 36 points on a supposedly good Steelers defense. And their defense has been playing lights out. Kansas City, another super scary team, Super Bowl contender. Teams that dropped out, Baltimore Ravens, they had to start their third stringer, but either way, their defense, they're just been too injured. The Ravens, they have been way too injured. Now they're out of the playoffs for the time being, and it's pretty much all injury so far, and they got blown up by a divisional rival. Number one, you got Green Bay Packers. They have not played good in the last couple of weeks. They really should have lost to the Browns if not for a missed holding call that would have put the Browns in the field goal range. But they still have the best record in the NFL, and they have not been playing great. Their offense has to be more consistent at scoring. They do great in the first half, and in the second half they slouch. Their defense still has been playing better. Their special team against the Browns did better, but it was their offense not scoring enough in the fourth quarter and almost allowed the Browns to come back if not for the missed holding call. And they really have to blow an opponent sooner or later and not allow these close games to mediocre opponents. But sooner or later, you're gonna lose one of those. And still, they're not the number one seed. Their offense can still be top 5, and their defense can be top 10 at times. And they still have the best record in the NFL. And there you have it, my NFL Week 17 power ranking.